Well, the AL West continues to be green with envy as the Astros have a stranglehold on first place. They won another series on the road and they return home for some tough opponents. Jake Myers and the brilliance of defense and hitting and a team win propels them to beat the Angels in this series. Let's talk about it right now.
Jainer Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros. We hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on X at Eric Talk Astros. Find the show at Locked On Astros. Your team every day. Brett, where can I find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on X, Instagram, and TikTok, at Stros411 on X and on Facebook, and at Wheelhouse Media Company on YouTube and most podcast platforms. Look, I'm always positive, always Stros.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us, make us first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts, go and check us out. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So, Brett, I know that there was a little bit of drama this weekend. You had the Hunter Brown versus Neto on Friday night. Was it a intentional, like Neto thought it was? There's a bench clearing brawl almost there. Not really, but tempers flared a little bit. Then you had the Astros give up a lot of runs on Saturday. Brandon Walter had his worst start of the season. And then you had a whole bunch of things happen on Sunday night. But the Astros were able to finish on top, 8-7. It was close. It was a lot of home runs. But you saw a lot of what the Astros been doing recently. And, Brett, I know you mentioned that the Astros been winning a lot of home series. Road series. They actually have not lost a series in 9 series.
No, right. And, we know their record has been better at home than on the road. But, all you got to do is just stack win upon win. And right. They did that. After the amazing outing by Soriano, the Angels pitcher yesterday, the Astros had no answer for. They come back and they win the game. And what I like about this game, Eric, is this. They came back from being down. Then the Angels scored several runs to try to make an effort to come back, and the Astros still remained on top. So where their strength has not been scoring runs, they scored a lot of runs, and it was enough to hold off. So where the pitching kind of let them down and giving up the runs, the hitting picked them up and produced the runs. And that's not something they've combined in the same game as often as they need to. And I hope that's a trend that continues.
I know that Myers had a lot to do with this game. He batted second in this game. Cam Smith, for the first time in his career, batted cleanup. And so that shows that the Astros are definitely missing some of their big bats. Isaac Paredes took the day off. Also, you had Jainer Diaz take the day off. But the Astros still scored 8 runs. And Dubón, he is still using Yordan Alvarez's bat. And he said, after the game, Alvarez is on the beach. He's just chilling. So he has no use for the bat. So I might as well use him while he's doing it. And he said that he's able to just see the breaking pitches and just get a hold of it. I know Joe Espada after the game said, I'm going to have to hear about Dubón being a power pitcher on the airplane the whole time, because he's going to talk about it. He's going to brag about, hey, did you see I hit 2 home runs? Hey, did you see I hit 2 home runs? But Dubón is he's doing something he hasn't done all year. In the past road trip, he's had 4 home runs. He had 2 home runs today. He's had another 2 in the last, 5 or 7 games. And before that, in 192 at-bats, he had 1 home run. So he is discovering something recently, and he just looks like a whole different player, whether it's the fact that he's playing a lot more recently or whatever it is. Brett, you got to love that he's getting this playing time and he's getting that confidence.
Yeah, he has 5 home runs on the road total this year. So he didn't have any home runs at Dyken Park. His OPS is 200 points higher when he's on the road. And yeah, I mean, he's found the power bat as of late. I think he likes hitting in Sacramento. That's his hometown. So that's really cool. 4 of those home runs have come in June, where he only had one altogether from March through May. So he's quadrupled his output. And I love seeing the Pena and Dubón back-to-back home runs. I'm wondering, are we going to get a bobblehead next year because of this? I'm just saying it's probably going to happen more times throughout the season. And I don't care if they're solo shots. But what's great is not only did he hit one home run, but again, he hit the second home run. And you love to see it, because there were a lot of people in this game that you can give credit to that had phenomenal games offensively. But Mauricio Dubón, what he does is he makes most of his opportunities. And that's what you have to be with this team, because there's a logjam in certain positions. So when you get your chance, you got to shine. And Dubón definitely has done that.
And I'm not to take away from what you just said, but it wasn't technically back-to-back home runs. You're forgetting that Guillermo was batting ninth and Dubón was batting. But I get what you're saying.
Okay.
That's kind of why it's okay.
No, you're right. Yeah, I misstated. Yes. I was mixing two different things. They have gone back to back before when they were in the, when Dubón was ninth. But yes, you are correct. It was Dubón, Guillermo, and then it was Pena. You're correct. Thank you for correcting me on that.
Yes, but definitely Dubón is doing something that he's more comfortable doing. I don't know whether it's dad power. I know a lot of people in the comments are mentioning dad power, but Pena is continuing to hit. He's batting .326. His OPS is creeping closer and closer to 900. He's at 873. I believe he's getting close to like 900 or at almost 1,000 in June. He is having a great June overall, but Pena is just getting it done. He should be an all-star. Guys, if you have not gone out there and voted, all you have to do is just use all the emails you have and vote for Jeremy Pena to be in the all-star game. We don't want him just to attend. He is the best shortstop out there. Yeah, there's some other guys that have the better names. There may be one more player that might be having a slightly better season, but we want at least one Astros player. The Astros have the second or third best record. I know technically they're a little bit behind the Yankees, but we want somebody starting in the All-Star game. Jeremy Pena, he's the guy. He's the number one guy in many people's eyes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's up there with Bobby Witt Jr. and the other top shortstops in the league. Jacob Wilson may be having a better year contact-wise, average-wise, but overall, I think he's the best shortstop in the AL. I mean, I'm just going to throw that out there. I don't think anybody does it better than him. He's got the range. He can track down pretty much anything. He's got speed on the base pass. I mean, he is every bit of a 5-tool baseball player. And to me, he is the next guy. He is the heir apparent whenever Altuve retires. And he's a guy that you absolutely have to keep around because he has staying power here in this Astros lineup. And he really, Eric, when you watch him play and when you watch him walk around the field, watch him before games, hear him talk after games, like he sounds like a veteran, for the first couple of years, he was still kind of the young guy and he was still the up and coming guy. Now, like he's really cemented his place with this team and you absolutely love that. But not only Jeremy Pena today, Eric, Jake Myers, we got to make sure we talk about him because Jake Myers had a phenomenal game. And that guy right there, I've actually given him a few all-star votes because I think he deserves it. I know there's some pretty outstanding guys in the all-star, in the AL outfield that are probably going to beat him out, but he definitely deserves his flowers in my book.
I know that I saw a tweet out there earlier. Here it is that this is actually from the Astros, from AL players. This was before the game on the road this year among center fielders. Jake Myers ranked second in on base percentage, 438, third in batting average, 369, and sixth in on base plus slugging at 954. He's hit safety in all 7 games of this road trip and 9 straight road games, and in 24 of his last 26 road games. So I'm pretty sure that wasn't including today's stats. So I added that. So yeah, the Astros offensively did really good. We're going to kind of focus next on the pitching because the pitching was not quite as great, but the Astros still got the W today. Thank you for making the Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day.
Yes, this episode is brought to you by Wonderful Pistachios. Get cracking and get snacking with Wonderful Pistachios. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com if you're looking for the snack that is both delicious and nutritious. Crack into the good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Why? Because each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help keep you fuller longer. Forget the snacks that are high calorie. They don't mean anything. They don't keep you full. You end up wanting more and more. You get a snack that has not only the 9 essential amino acids, and again, 10% your daily value in each 6 gram serving. This is the way to go, whether you're at your desk on a road trip or whether you want to bring a pack of Wonderful Pistachios when Kyle Tucker comes back to town. So get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day, whether it's on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to us. Go and make us first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify. Wherever you listen to your podcast, go and check us out. So, Brett, while you're doing that ad, remind me, A, I'm flying to Washington. I need to go get me some Wonderful Pistachios for the plane ride. B, Jacob Wilson, he has a 2.4 WAR on the season, and Jeremy Pena has a 4.4 WAR on the season. So I know that if you look at Wilson's stats offensively, he's having a slightly better like contact rate, like you're saying, but Pena has more steals, more home runs. But if you're looking at the other stuff, Wilson has a slight edge. So maybe later this week, we need to go ahead and actually look at that comparison, because I think a lot of people are going to be looking at what this rookie that was playing college baseball not that long ago is doing in the big leagues. But I do want to switch a little bit from hitting a little bit to talk about pitching. And thank you, Mr. Twain. This is your first year since you started watching. So thank you for all the listeners of the Lock. Huh?
It's his 1 year anniversary, and I met Ed Salad. Ed Salad came into Lids this weekend. I met him in person. And so it's good. Look, we love meeting y'all. If you ever see us in person, please make sure that you tell us hi. I talked to a guy today who said he's been watching us for a couple years, Eric, and he said he really enjoys the show. So we just got to give y'all that shout out. Thank you so much.
So I know that before we talk about Hunter Brown and what happened on Friday, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what Ryan Gusto did today. It wasn't his best start, but the dude gave up 5 runs, 6 hits, but only threw 79 pitches in 6 innings, had 7 strikeouts. He gave up 2 home runs. One of them was on a mistake on a hanging curveball or breaking pitch or something like that. But overall, it wasn't as bad as the stats look. Maybe he, if he didn't hang that breaking pitch, maybe they wouldn't have had that, I think that was a 3-run homer.
It was I believe so. Logan O'Hoppe,
2-run homer.
2-run homer. Logan O'Hoppe is a thorn in the Astros side. He is the current nemesis to this team. The guy just mashes. And look, when I watch Mike Trout strike out and pop up, I literally tweeted out today, can we walk O'Hoppe and can we just pitch to Mike Trout? Because Logan O'Hoppe is really becoming one of the better hitting catchers in the AL. I mean, good Lord, Cal Riley up there in Seattle just hit his 31st home run today. So you've got catchers in the AL that are producing, and this isn't the age of the power hitting catcher. But today Ryan Gusto, want to say something about that, and I think it's a great point that you make, Eric, because the proof isn't always in what the stat sheet is. It's what actually happened in the game. And sometimes a pitch becomes a mistake and creates more runs for that pitcher. But Ryan Gusto wasn't terrible. And that's why I think this win today, though, is important, because They basically had to come back 2 different times. So this offense is not known for the home runs, and this offense is not known for scoring a lot of runs on a consistent basis. So it's great that they showed up, because it could have been disastrous, or it could have looked really bad if the Astros lose 7-1 or 7-2 or 9-2 like they did yesterday. So Ryan Gusto's going to have his ups and downs. These young guys, these newer guys are going to have to come into their own. There is pressure on them, but if this offense can produce, the pressure falls off and it helps them to excel in performance. So I think Ryan Gusto's just going to keep getting better and keep grinding. He's a big body pitcher, and I know once he hits his best stuff, we're going to be really glad he's a part of this team.
Yeah, I think the Astros helped them out by scoring 4 runs in the 5th inning. And I think that gave Joe Espada the confidence to leave him in for the 5th inning after giving up the 2 runs in the 4th inning, but then he gave up 3 runs. And Joe Espada was probably like, you know what, I shouldn't leave him in there, but he left him in there for the 6th inning. So he has built up the confidence that Joe Espada needed to leave him in, even though he's not pitching his best game. He still left him in there just after the Astros gave him the 8-5 lead at that time. I think if the Astros didn't score those 4 runs in the 5th inning, I think it would have been a different situation if the Astros were trailing. But because they had that lead, I think that's why they left them in. But speaking of having a lead, Brandon Walters, he didn't quite have his best game. I know that we talked about this is a guy that a lot of people didn't really know about. He was just a minor league free agent. The Astros went after. This is somebody they won it last year. He had a great first 3 starts. I think he had a 1-point-something ERA, but he got lit up. To his credit, he did pitch 6 innings, but he gave up 7 runs in his start on Saturday. And so this is what you're going to have. If you don't have, you have all these injuries, Brett, and you have to deal with these rookies or these guys with not a lot of experience.
Right. No, and that's where I think the veteran presence, guys like Jeremy Pena having a career year, guys like Jake Myers having a career year, Mauricio Dubón when he's in there stepping up to the plate. That's why it's important to produce. Again, that's why it's important for them to score 4 runs or more. When they score 4 runs or more, they are a darn good team. But Eric, they're still 5-1 in extra innings. Their record is improving when they score 3 runs or less, because they're winning more of those games than losing as of late. So it seems like things are really going and really moving in the right direction. So in those games where they score 3 runs or less, they are actually, right here, they are 15-25. So they're only 10 games under 500, where that was a much bigger disparaging number. And they're 29 now. They're 30-7 when they score 4 runs or more. So you got to love that.
Yeah, we'll go deeper into the wins in a second. But Brett, let's go ahead and talk the last minute and a half or so about on this segment, Hunter Brown and Neto. What do you think about that situation? Do you think that Hunter Brown overreacted? Do you think Neto overreacted? Do you think Christian Moore kind of intensified things with whatever he said?
So Zach Neto absolutely overreacted. Zach Neto sets up on the inside of the plate was hit like 14 times last season. If you go look at just where pitches are thrown and where he sets up. Also, he was swinging. He was in the process of swinging. There was no intent in that. The game situation did not garner that. What was crazy was Zach Neto held up 2. Like he said, that's twice. Well, I think it was July 6th last year. Hunter Brown hit Neto, but it was like the 2nd or 3rd inning. It was a non-consequential thing. So both times he's hit Neto is because Neto crowds the plate. Look, Neto, read your scouting report, kid. The scouting report says he throws high and inside. And I know that there are graphics out there, and I've seen it and I've shown it. I've actually got it saved on my computer. Most of his pitches that are in the upper right quadrant, which means they are high and inside on towards the third base line, Eric, most of them are out of the major league average. So he throws high and inside for a reason. Plus, if you crowd his plate, he's a pitcher. He can establish his presence. Number 2, Christian Moore. I'm sorry, 24 at bats in the major leagues. I get you're the number one prospect for the Angels, but give me a break, dude. Like, you don't have any dogs in this hunt. Like, you need to sit down and be quiet, Rook, because that's not your place. And Hunter Brown, of course, he's going to be pissed off because because Zach Neto is accusing him of like doing this purposely. He's like, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And he dropped some F-bombs and look, Hunter Brown's got that dog in him. And if you press him, if you go up against him, oh yeah, he's knocking back down. He's from Detroit, man. I mean, you remember Dusty Baker talking about it, right? You know, he's like kids from Detroit aren't punks, and he's not a punk. And I thought it was overblown. Christian Moore, look, guys are going to defend their teammates, right? And of course, Angels fans might be in it and like, oh yeah, but the logical baseball fan takes us away from it. It was an accident. Neto overreacted. Hunter Brown defended his honor. Christian Moore stepped up for his teammate. But I think Neto and Moore made this situation worse than it was. And the bullpen comes out, and it was like they were saying hi to their teammates. So it was much ado about nothing. But it was fun to watch.
Yeah. So, guys, we're going to continue talking about this situation. We're going to talk about how good the Astros have been doing, and they're going to be facing a pretty hot team coming up after the day off. Thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day.
All right, folks, as you listen to my voice right now, maybe as it's going on, the NBA Finals is here. The NBA Finals Game 7 is here. And look, if you didn't get a chance to bet on all things NBA Finals, there are other sports to go with. I mean, we are in full swing with soccer, with baseball. Did I say soccer? That's right. You can bet on soccer with FanDuel. You're already following the action. Why not make it a little more thrilling with FanDuel? You can get in on the game while your friends are getting sunburned at the beach. I mean, why would you not want to take care of the promotion? They have new daily promotions, fun way to bet. It's easy to use, fast to play, and the payout gets there quick. That's right. Whether I'm placing a same game parlay or watching a bet right into the ninth inning, FanDuel makes it feel like I'm a part of the action. You can too. So new to FanDuel, that's great. New customers, when you bet just $5, you get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. It's $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. It's a pretty good return. Open the FanDuel app today or just go to FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead, subscribe to us. Go and make his first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Go and check us out. Go and check out Michael Connor, the Locked On Astros podcast as well. And go ahead and make us all your first listen. Whether we're trying to get to 15,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. And Brett, thank you for joining me all those years ago. But we've grown this podcast from a little bit of nothing to something great. And thank you for the journey. But the Astros have gone on a journey from last year. They've definitely had the rough start. Then they have the early exit in playoffs. But this year, even when they got off to the kind of seesaw start where they're kind of going back and forth like this, I was never worried because at least it wasn't as bad as last season. Despite all the losses, despite all the players going everywhere, despite all the injuries, the Astros seem to somehow, I don't know how, but they keep on doing it. But the Astros are in their last 13 games, they're 9-4, and they've won 19 of their last 27 games. And in fact, they are 14-6 in June. So they are doing a lot of things right. They still have a 5-game lead over the Seattle Mariners and now 7-game lead over the they used to be good. Remember the Rangers said that the Astros used to be good, but there's Astros are still good, right?
Oh man, I have not heard a single word from Rangers fans. Good God, they were chirping so loud at the beginning of the season. I haven't heard a single word from them. They're not even visiting our show anymore. It's no fun when they're not around. Oh, I love those sour pusses, those sweet saints from South Oklahoma. We love them. But yeah, I caught some of the chat earlier in a show, and some people were saying, I'm actually have a little bit more concern for the Angels than I do the Mariners. Now, I don't know if I'm going to put the Angels above the Mariners just yet because they're not there. But the Angels do have potential. I think the Angels are more competitive, it seems like, as of late than the Rangers are. I still think Seattle continues to be there neck and neck with us because of their all-star possible MVP catcher, Cal Riley, who's probably going to win the Silver Slugger. I mean, the dude's just crushing the baseball. So it's a semi-competitive division. The Astros still are benefactors of being probably the weakest division in all of baseball, but it doesn't matter because right now it's about stacking up wins. It's about just seeing what kind of character your team has. Because last year, like you said, I mean, it was like, oh my gosh, we might as well sell the team, This is what I'm going to ask from Astros fans, Eric, and this is something that I thought of today. Don't be a front runner. And what do I mean by that? There are a lot of fans in Houston that are front runners. When the Astros are on top, when the Astros are winning, they love them. But when the Astros start losing, it's just not the same, and they're critical. They hate the team when they leave. They may be put on it. I'm not saying people in our audience per se, but just the general overall feel is don't be a front runner. Be a die-in-the-wool fan for the Astros no matter what they're doing. This team has been through it. This team, like no other team, scares the Yankees. Yankees commentators on TikTok were all happy at the beginning of the year because they were like, the Astros aren't going to make the playoffs this year. And they're like, gosh dang it, they're going to make the playoffs. And if they play us in the playoffs, we know what happens. I mean, they know how the story ends. Yeah.
And I know that since the Astros played the Rays have been a much better team. I think the Astros, the Rays kind of taking care of the Astros, that kind of jump-started their season. They're back in the playoff hunt in the AL East. But I remember about a month ago, the AL Central was the division that all the winning teams were at. Now it's crazy that only the Tigers have a winning record. I guess the Guardians still are 2 games above 500, but it's a much different division. Like some of the teams like the Twins, the Royals are kind of below 500 now. And so a lot of the teams that were doing good, you can't really trust a hot start to the season. And that's why you can never really always trust the Mariners. I think the Mariners are going to be in it with the Astros until the end, maybe kind of where they are right now. But the Rangers are still doing it with pitching. They're still second or third in terms of pitching. They just can't score runs. And you're not going to win games if you can't score runs. And so that's why they have a plus 16 run differential. And the Angels, they put up a good fight this weekend. To their credit, they tried to outslug the Astros. They did on Saturday. They tried to do it on Sunday. Hunter Brown said no to it on Friday, but they are negative 54 in terms of run differential. And the A's, they're negative 127.
So get this, Eric. The Astros have the second best? They have one of the better records, not second best, but they have one of the top records versus teams over 500. Right. And so they're right there. They're only 18-20 on the road. That's really good. They're getting back to 500. There's only one team in the AL West that has one win over 500. That's Seattle, 27-13 at home plus 46 run differential. The Astros have to just score 4 runs or more a little bit more frequently than they are. They have to continue to find ways to win. Dude, I love the lineup change today. I mean, it worked. And so the Astros are going to do what they do to stack success upon success. And that's where I think you play the long game with this team and they'll be okay.
And Paredes could have played today, but I think Joe Espada is playing the long game, like you said.
Well, I mean,
he's trying to rest him.
So, I don't mind that he's out. You know what I'm saying? He was out. What did the guys do? They stepped up.
Yeah, and that's why you had Cam Smith batting fourth, and you had Jake Myers batting second. But it's good to know that Cam Smith is to the point where Joe Espada trusts that you can put your rookie guy. After the terrible start, he was thrown to the fire. Just imagine a first-year teacher that never student taught or anything, just straight from college, get thrown to the wolves. That's what Cam Smith had done to him. So he had to learn on the fly. Now you're starting to see what Cam Smith has done. He was able to score first to third on the double today. I know Guillerme did it as well, but I think he had to railroad the guy at home plate to actually score. But it was still he doesn't have the speed that Cam Smith does. But Cam Smith, I think, is going to be.
Are you saying Guillerme? Yeah, of course he doesn't have the speed. He's basically Evan Gaddis 2.0. I mean,
come on. He's not Evan Gaddis, but he's a little bit faster.
He's pretty freaking athletic. The catches he's been making, so the dude's deceivingly athletic. Okay, I'm sorry. You look
he's
at him
faster than Evan Gaddis is what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So if you had two guys race, I'm pretty sure he would beat Evan Gaddis, is what I'm trying to say, especially now. But I think this Astros is going to face the team is going to face another tough opponent in the Phillies, and the Astros up until this point, they've been facing up until this last stretch, they've been facing a lot of good teams. Now they face some of the AL West talent. Now they're back to facing some of the tough opponents. The Phillies are a tough team, and they're going to face some tough pitching. The matchups, it's going to be Framber Valdez versus Ranger Suarez. Then you're going to have Colton Gordon versus Zach Wheeler, and then Hunter Brown versus Christopher Sanchez. So that's going to be a tough matchup for the Astros.
Yep. And before we go, Eric, guess what?
What?
The Astros just signed John Singleton to a minor league contract. He's back.
Welcome back.
Someone actually said it in here. I saw someone say it, but I had to make sure it was correct. Yeah, there you go. Right here. I don't know how you Skloodle. I don't know how you say that. Anyways, yes. So there you go. John Singleton. There you go. Welcome back.
He's a left-handed bat. And by the way, before we go, Dana Brown did say that it's no secret. It would be good to get a left-handed bat. No doubt about it. That's a big thing for us. We're having discussions about other things, but that's a big issue for us. It'll be nice to get a left-handed bat. So there you go. Dana Brown got what he promised you. A left-handed bat.
Now, it is a minor league contract, which means to make it to the major league club, someone's going to have to be let go or DFA'd.
He's not coming up anytime soon, but I think this is good. I think that if there's a need, John Singleton would fit the bill, but I think the Astros will go. We'll see what happens, but also Dana Brown also said that Spencer Aggetti could, I didn't put that many could, but we don't always know the truth. It could throw a side session off the mound Tuesday, which would be the first time since his thumb fracture. So
hey, that's, any news is good news with him. So, all right. Yes, definitely. Well, hey, thank y'all for tuning in. This is it's a great another edition. Eric, be safe. You're going to Washington State, right?
I'm going to Spokane.
Ooh, Spokane, Washington. All right. Well, do not buy any Seattle gear while you're up there. Okay.
I will not. But guys, thank you for making the Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead, subscribe to us, make this first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts, go and check us out.
Go Stros. Singy is back.